I think we're in line for some big upsets. Let's get right to the picks. BYU traveling to Texas to take on Texas Tech. Look, this game is going to be really interesting, really fun game, but I think it ultimately comes down to the fact that I don't know if BYU is ready for prime time. See, Texas Tech to me is a super talented team, and you also kind of have the same questions of how good are they really? But I think being at home alleviates some of that. When you have college game day coming in, you're at home, the energy, the crowd, all of that stuff is going to aid them. Whereas on the other side, BYU has all of that energy and angst and nerves, but you're on the road and you're combating so many different things. Distractions from the ranking. You have the away crowd. You have the college game day coming in that you got to compete with that. All the attention. You have a true freshman quarterback who has played well, but is it possible that this Saturday the lights are going to shine too bright? I think so. I'm going to take Texas Tech to take out BYU at home. Ohio State taking on Purdue. Ohio State wins by 1.5 million points. Simply put, after the rankings came out, some people feel that Texas A&M should be ranked above Ohio State. I think Ohio State, against a bad opponent like Purdue, they're going to play no games. They're going to come out to prove one singular point. They are the number one team, and they deserve to be the number one team, and they are better than anyone else in the country. Give me Ohio State by 1.5 million. Texas A&M taking on Missouri. And speaking of who some people believe should be number one, Texas A&M is getting a lot of love and praise right now, especially from the SEC fanboys, and they think that this team is the best in the country, even better than Ohio State. Well, they are going on the road to Missouri, who is going to be no pushover, no cakewalk, no easy road here. I think if you look at the way they played Vanderbilt, I think they're going to play Texas A&M much the same. This Texas A&M offense is pretty good, but that defense is a little fraudulent, and they can be had. And I think Missouri is going to have success running and throwing the ball against this Texas A&M defense. I think being at home aids them a bit and gives them a little extra energy, a little extra jolt. And I think this time they don't come up a yard short. I think they actually win the game. I'm taking Missouri in the upset. Oregon taking on Iowa. Oregon is traveling to Iowa in an environment that is tough to play in. Just ask anyone in the Big Ten who's traveled there. It is no easy victory. Tough place to play, and this Iowa defense is top 10 across the board in every category. They are no slouch, and this Oregon team is going to have a little bit of trouble moving the ball. Think about the way they played Penn State and how difficult that game was. I think Oregon ultimately will win the game, but I think this is going to be a real struggle. I think Iowa's offense being so weak is the only reason why they don't beat Oregon. But I think that defense and special teams is good enough to keep this game very close. And I think it's going to be a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. But I do expect Oregon to kind of pull it out late and maybe separate a little bit for a 9-10 point victory. Give me Oregon. Syracuse taking on Miami. Miami is one bad bounce away from being a full-on freefall tailspin disaster of a season, much like they had last year. Once again, Miami comes in, first couple weeks of the year, builds up an impressive resume, makes you want to say the U is back. But just as I thought, Carson Beck showed his true colors and became the Carson Beck that we all know and love him to be. An absolute walking turnover machine and a disaster in a helmet. This guy is just not very good. And I think this week, against what is perceived to be a weak Syracuse team, I think he's going to come out and try to be superhuman and reestablish himself as a top 10 NFL caliber quarterback. And once again, he's going to have issues with turnovers. I expect Carson Beck to have at least 2 turnovers this game. And I'm actually going to take Syracuse to take out Miami and send them off on that free fall that we're all used to them taking late in the year. Those are my picks for the week. Let me know your picks in the comments down below and let me know what you think of mine. Remember, gamble responsibly and only bet what you can comfortably afford to lose. I'll catch you guys next week.